Stop hoping that your fishing trip turns into a good video. There's a better way. Build the idea before you even leave the house, and then fish with a purpose. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple 5-part system for planning better fishing videos. Welcome to the Fishing Channel Lab, where I analyze what the biggest YouTube educators are teaching and apply it to fishing creators just like you. Let's start with the big problem. Most small fishing channels are built around this idea. I'm going fishing, so I'll bring the camera. That sounds normal, but it creates random videos because the camera is just following you around. It's like bringing a net and hoping the fish jump into it. Sometimes it works, but most of the time it doesn't. What you want instead is this. I know the video that I'm making, so I'm going fishing to capture it. That one shift changes everything. Now you're not just collecting footage, you're collecting evidence for a video idea. Think about it like this. If your video idea is, I went bass fishing at the lake, that's just an event. But if your idea is, I tested whether cheap Walmart baits can beat my expensive tackle, now there's a reason to watch. There's a question, there's a test, there's a result coming. And if your idea is, I fished a local pond, that's basic. But if your idea is, I tried to catch a bass from the worst looking pond in town, now there's a story. The viewer wants to know if you can pull it off. If your idea is, I went crappie fishing, that's fine. But if your idea is, I used one simple trick to find crappie faster, now there's value. The viewer has a reason to stay. The fishing didn't change that much, but the angle did. And on YouTube, the angle is what turns a trip into a video. So here's the system. I call it the precast content system. Let's break each one down. Part 1 is the problem. Before you go fishing, ask this question. What does my viewer want help with? What do they want to see? What do they want to know? Not what do I want to film, but what do they want? This is where a lot of fishing creators miss. They make videos based on their day, but viewers click based on their desire. The viewer is thinking, can this help me catch more fish? Will this save me time? Will this show me something cool? Will this teach me a bait, a spot, a seasonal pattern, or a mistake to avoid? Will this story be worth my time? So before you plan the trip, look for demand. Start with your own comments. What questions do people ask? What bait was that? How do you find fish in cold water? Does that work from the bank? What do you throw when they won't bite? How do you fish dirty water? Each question can become a video idea. Next, look at other fishing channels. You're not going to copy them, but you can use it to study what viewers already care about. Look at videos in your own niche that got way more views than normal. And then ask, what was the problem? Was it a challenge, a test, a mistake, a secret spot, a bait comparison, a seasonal pattern, a beginner lesson, a crazy result? You're looking for patterns. Because good video ideas are like fish on a graph. If you see one dot, maybe it's nothing. If you see a whole school, now you know where to cast. For fishing creators, common viewer problems are simple. They want to catch more fish. They want to know what bait to use. They want to find better spots. They want to stop wasting time. They want to understand conditions. They want to see if something works. They want to watch someone struggle, adjust, and then figure it out. So your first job is to pick one viewer problem. Just one. Not 5, but one. Because a video with 5 ideas usually feels like a tackle box dumped on the floor. Everything is there, but nothing is clear. Part 2 is the promise. This is where a video idea starts to take shape. A problem is I don't know what bait to throw when the water is muddy. A promise is I'll show you the 3 baits I trust most in muddy water. A problem is I can't find fish from the bank. A promise is I'll show you how I pick the best bank fishing spots before I even make a cast. A problem is I don't know if cheap baits work. A promise is I'm testing cheap baits against my confidence baits to see what actually gets bit. Do you feel the difference? The promise tells the viewer why the video exists. It also tells you what to film. That's why this has to happen before the trip. There's a simple way to write it. Before you go fishing, finish this sentence. In this video, I'm going to blank. And then make it specific. Not in this video, I'm going fishing. That's too weak. Try something like, in this video, I'm going to see if one bait can catch fish all day. Or in this video, I'm going to show you how I find bass when the weather changes. Or in this video, I'm going to prove whether this spot is actually worth fishing. In this video, I'm going to fix the biggest mistake bank fishermen make. Now the viewer knows what they're getting. And you know what you're making. That's the whole point. Part 3 is the angle. The angle is the way you package the promise. It's the shape of the video. A promise can become a test, a challenge, a mistake video, a beginner lesson, a comparison, a story, a breakdown, a before and after. Let's say the problem is I don't know which bait to use. That could become, I tested 3 baits to see which one got bit first. That's a test. Or I only use 1 bait until I caught a fish. That's a challenge. Or the bait mistake that cost bank fishermen fish. That's a mistake video. Same basic problem, but a different angle. The angle matters because it decides the energy of the video. A test creates curiosity. A challenge creates tension. A mistake video creates urgency. A teaching video creates trust. A study creates emotion. So before you fish, don't just ask what's the topic. Ask what's the angle. Because the angle decides why the viewer stays. Part 4 is moments. Once you have the idea, you don't just go fishing. You go capture the video. Let's say your promise is, I'm going to find bass on a tough bluebird sky day. Now you know what to film. You film the conditions, the bright sun, the calm water, clear sky, low activity. You explain why that makes it hard. You show your first plan. Then you show what happens. If it fails, good. That's the story. And then you adjust. You move to shade. You slow down. You change baits. You target cover. Now the viewer isn't just watching casts. They're watching decisions, and decisions create retention. A random cast is just a cast. A cast with a reason is a story. Let's say your promise is, I'm testing if a $2 bait can catch quality bass. Now you know what moments matter. Show the bait, show the doubt, show why you picked it. Show the first few casts, show if it gets bit. Show when you start trusting it or when you start losing confidence. The bait is not the whole video. The test is the video. The result is the reason to stay. Let's say your promise is, I'm going to teach beginners how to pick a fishing spot. Now don't just catch fish. Show the signs, the wind, the shade, the depth change, the bait fish, the cover, the current, the mistakes you'd avoid. You're not just fishing, you're guiding the viewer's eyes. It's like putting polarized glasses on their brain. That's what a plan does. It tells you what to point the camera at. It tells you what to say. It tells you what to cut. And maybe most importantly, it tells you what not to include. Small fishing creators often think more footage makes better videos. But more footage without a point just makes a longer problem. The idea is the filter. If a clip supports the promise, keep it. If it doesn't, cut it. Even if the clip looks cool. Even if the cast was nice. Even if you liked the shot. The viewer didn't click for your whole day. They clicked for the promise. So serve it. Part 5 is the stakes. This is the part most small fishing creators forget. They have a topic. They have footage. They may even have a decent promise. But there's no reason that the results matter. Stakes answer one question: why should the viewer care what happens next? The stakes don't have to be huge. You don't need a tournament. You don't need giant fish. You don't need crazy drama. The stakes can be simple. Can I catch one before the storm hits? Can I save the trip after the morning bite dies? Can this cheap bait actually beat my confidence baits? Can I find fish without using live bait? Can I make this bad spot work? Can I help a beginner catch their first fish? Stakes give the video a direction. They turn a normal fishing day into a question the viewer wants answered. Without stakes, a bad day is just a bad day. But with stakes, a bad day can become, I tried to save the worst fishing trip of the season. That's a story. So now let's put the whole system together. The precast content system is the problem, the promise, the angle, the moments, and the stakes. Example 1, you're going bank fishing at a local pond. The weak idea is pond fishing after work. That might be true, but it's not clickable. Now use the system. Problem, bank fishermen don't know where to start at a pond. Promise, I'll show you how I choose the first 3 spots before I even make a cast. Angle, beginner-friendly teaching video. Moments, the walk-up, the spot selection, the first cast, the first adjustment, the first bite. Stakes, if I pick wrong, I waste the best part of the trip. Now the video isn't pond fishing after work. It's how I pick the best spot at any pond. That's a video. Example 2, you're going out on a boat in the summer. Weak idea is summer bass fishing. But something stronger is I tried to find bass after the sun got high. Problem, people struggle when the morning bite dies. Promise, I'll show you the adjustments I made when the fish stopped chasing. Angle, problem-solving story. Moment, good early conditions, the bite slowing down, the first bad decision, the adjustment, the payoff. Stakes, can I save the trip after the easy bite is gone? Now you have tension. Now you have structure. Now you have a reason for the viewer to keep watching. The best part is you don't need the perfect fishing day for this to work. A tough day can work. A slow bite can work. A missed fish can work. A bad decision can work. A change in weather can work. Because once you have an angle, problems become part of the video. So before your next trip, don't start with where am I fishing? Start with what video am I making? That's the precast content system. Again, it's problem, promise, angle, moments, and stakes. Before you cast, know the content. Because when you plan the video first, the footage has a purpose. The edit has direction. The title gets clearer. And the viewer has a reason to click. So stop hoping that the trip turns into a good video. Stop wasting great days on the water. Build the idea before you even leave the house. And then fish with a purpose.